Girls, it's Shane. Welcome in. We're getting started on another. Get all of our audio set up here so everybody can hear us. It's Vampire Story Night. We're going to be reading classic vampire books, so join us. If you've never joined us before, this is the perfect day to follow along. We're going to be reading from Varney the Vampire. This story is from the 1840s. It's 50 years before Dracula was written. How cool is that? This has been fun. It's been exciting. And we will begin promptly at 7 Central. So that will be what time is it now? It'll be about 15 minutes. So hopefully you can stick with us. And here in about 15 minutes, we'll begin. The wife is getting ready. It is always the privilege of a beautiful lady to keep us waiting anxiously for her arrival. Let's get her microphone out, get her set up and ready to go. Come on. I'm looking for a green light here. 15 minutes or so, we'll begin recapping, and then we'll get started on our story. There it goes. Just took it a minute. If you've never joined us before, welcome in. We look forward to having an absolutely spectacular evening hanging out with all of you. Your cat is missing. You always have such good energy, and it makes your heart broken. I'm so sorry that you're having such a difficult time. I'm sure your kitty is missing you just as much as you're missing it. You were in Fort Smith yesterday. Did you see me anywhere? I was around. Welcome in, Kelly. Thanks for moderating for me. Welcome in, everybody. If you're watching this on a recording later, that's fine. I hope you'll enjoy the story. It gives you a chance to be able to keep up with us. Hello, England. You can't wait for my movie to come out. I was talking with the director some more earlier. I can't wait. Can you get a hair update? How does it feel? I'm going to do a hair update soon. I know everybody's anxiously awaiting. It's getting a lot better. I mean, I definitely have hair up here, so you can see, which was an area that I didn't have hair before. So I guess that means it worked. The mayor's race, I think, is going very well. We've been having some strategizing meetings with some of the people that are going to be on my team helping me to do this, and I've got some really good people that are supporting me. With really good people like that helping me, I just don't know how we could fail. Like, we have so many incredibly and talented people. I'm honestly humbled by how many people we have supporting us right now and the caliber of people. To some of you guys, I'm just a weird guy on the internet. Other people, though, have known me from business and other things for years, and I have some really good friends in business of all different kinds, and politics and other things. I've done petitions before. This isn't my first rodeo, and so as a result, we have some really good people that are helping us. Well, when I become mayor, you should move to Fort Smith, but you can move to Fort Smith anyway. We're a great community, and we would welcome you. I moved many families to Fort Smith last year to live in my houses and rentals and other things. And I had no inkling of running for mayor at the time. So this is a good place to live either way. Excuse me. Excuse me. How long will I be in Ohio filming? I'm thinking probably about a week. I'm not exactly sure yet. It just kind of depends on how things go. Our schedule isn't exactly carved in stone yet, but it's the middle of April, so we're about a month out. And for those who don't know, every 50,000 taps on the TikTok, I will perform some magic for you. So if you enjoy magic, make sure to tap, tap, tap. That helps me as a creator. Your likes, the stars, the heart me's, all those things help me to do better. So, oh, that's strange. I've got a call coming in. One moment. Hi, this is Shane.
Hi there.
Do you believe that it was a spam call? Somehow, lately, they haven't been showing up on my spam filter. I used to be very good about not getting spam calls through. Do I know the artist Horse Girl? I'm not familiar with an artist named Horse Girl. We were staying in Fayetteville up in the mountains. There's some beautiful places up that way. I actually have a friend who has a couple B&Bs in the mountains there. I think we're going to do it, Whiskey Razorback. I think we're going to do it. And with the support of people like you and others, we had a huge win yesterday, a huge win. And that is the City Council is now doing a study session to find out exactly what's going to happen and how the procedure for changing from an administrator to a mayoral form of government, exactly how that's going to work. The fact that we're now doing a study session, a month ago, everybody thought I was just some gimmick that was just here to get some extra likes on social media. And I've been telling people, no, I'm really doing this for a while. You see a sleeve on my thumb? I don't think you do. Hey, Brian, welcome in. Thank you so much for the heart me's. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Should have people send you donations to see what's in the casket? That might be an interesting fundraising concept, possibly. Hi, Tracy. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Trying different camera setups and changing things around. I'm buying another camera next week. We're trying to figure out a way to optimize this so I can be live. Right now I'm on 3 different screens and I'm trying to read comments on all these different screens. There's got to be a way to get it to where I'm on one screen and one camera and it feeds out to everything. I think that's definitely something that we're going to have happen very soon. I know, I've got OBS downloaded on my other computer. I'm working on putting it on this one. But I was trying to configure it, and there were certain things about the comments that I didn't really like. You'd like me to do a rehab real estate in, I think that's Maryland. MA is Maryland, right? Have you achieved millionaire status? Yes, I have. It did not take long once I started real estate investing to get there. It's not as much of a milestone as it seems like it should be. Oh my gosh, you're beautiful. Wowee. Oh, sorry, I lost my train of thought. I did forget, but
choo choo.
Now that you are here, I can go get some beverages.
Oh, well, I've got to put us on live on this thingy. Put us on live on each of these respective things.
The person you got the house from in Fayetteville was Angela. That's not the person that I know what you're talking about. That's not my friend that has the B&Bs.
Here's one. So now I'm going to each of the places where the live is and making sure he can message you guys.
Thank you, Tracy. Hi, Wisconsin. Welcome in, Sarah. When do you plan on moving into a $5 million mansion? I have no plans on moving into a $5 million mansion.
Although if inflation keeps going.
Yeah. it could be a $5 million shack in the woods somewhere if inflation stays at the pace it's going. But no, that sounds like a lot of work. Maintaining something of that size means lots of servants, lots of upkeep, lots of... we can't do all that on our
own. There's a house here in town that was up for sale for a while. It was the price tag that the realtors and everything had on it was $10 million. And the rumor mill said that all of the upkeep for the house and the grounds was $10,000 a month. That's a money pit, man.
Yeah.
That, unless you have some way that you are making money off of that property, that is a money pit.
Am I a hogs fan? I love pork. We eat a lot. Do you buy to rent them out or buy them to sell? We buy to rent them out. Any Victorian mansions near us? Yes, there are a few. And some of them are gorgeous. And I'd love to get a chance to remodel some of those. We've bought a couple nice Victorian houses, but not any of the really uber fancy ones.
So the last one's this one.
How's my hair transplant coming along? We're doing very well. It's not nearly as itchy as it was. I'm probably going to be able to do an update video very soon and actually have kind of a progress through. This is what it was like in the beginning. This was the painful, itchy time. This was the recovery time, and kind of be able to put it all together as a thing.
I've got you on all of them now.
I've never eaten Razorback, so I don't know what it tastes like, but I would assume it tastes kind of like pig, right? I know what you're asking. I'm just being silly. I don't keep up with sporting. Whatever it is in your DNA that makes sporting fun for you guys, I don't have that.
Nor does he have the DNA for rhythm.
Or rhythm. Yeah, rhythm is another thing I'm missing the DNA for. I'm rhythmically challenged, I say sometimes.
Yes, you also call it a disability at times.
It is a disability
He has
at times.
no rhythm.
There are specific things in this world that
like
are...
jumping rope. He cannot jump rope.
I'll tell you a story about playing a Mario video game back in 1995.
Oh, speaking of Mario, I saw an ad for Old Spice Mario themed deodorant today, and it made me think of my son. And I was like, should I buy him that? Not Ransom, the other one.
You interrupted me, dear, and I have no idea what I was talking about. What was I talking about?
Mario.
Oh, and rhythm. So
Mario and rhythm.
I was playing this video game circa 1995, Mario RPG, and there's a part of this game where there's this Yoshi race, and you have to race the Yoshis, and to do it, you have to push the button as the rhythmically jumping Yoshi is jumping. And I couldn't understand it. I kept trying and trying. I'm really good at video games. I've played lots of video games, but I was stuck on that for days and days and days. And finally, I had a friend come over, and he's like, well, let me try it. And he just, you just push it with the rhythm. And he 2 seconds, he beats it. And I'm like, I got to try that. And there is no rhythm in this thumb. I don't have the ability to rhythm in my head at all. I don't know how you guys clap to the beat of music and all the stuff you do, dribbling basketballs. I can do it if I'm looking at it, but if I look away, it doesn't happen. I have to see the ball. I don't know how you guys do all the rhythm things.
Here's a question. If you have 0, how much would you get to 1 million in under a year?
How would you get to 1 million in under a year? I actually saw a millionaire do a video series about this where he decided to become he got rid of all of his stuff and went to live on the streets and wanted to become a millionaire as fast as possible to kind of show how you would go about doing it. So having the knowledge that I have now, I would definitely do it through real estate. It is possible to buy property without any down payment of any kind. So I did 3 properties last year without a down payment and without credit. So I didn't even need good credit to do those properties. One of the properties I bought for $60,000. It's worth $160,000 renovated. I could renovate that property in about 2 months. That would give me $100,000 in equity. I would then take out a loan on that property, and I would use that to make a down payment on 5-ish other properties. Each one I could do the same thing on. I'd have to hire crews in order to be able to do them fast enough. But I could make probably $50,000 to $60,000 on each one of those properties with that. Then I would take a loan out on those properties, and boom, we would be in millionaire land on the next set. That's how you get to a millionaire as fast as I can think of.
Thank you. I feel like it has to be the angles of the weird camera angles.
Well,
I feel like
I was using this camera last time, but I don't have it installed on the new computer yet, so we're having to use the computer.
I see.
Camera.
I see. I'm just looking at my makeup, and I'm like, I feel really lopsided looking at some of these weird
And
camera
this one
angles.
this one is a mirrored one, and that one, or these two are mirrored, and that one's not.
Oh.
So yeah, this is a brand new laptop over here.
You see your face in the unmirrored way.
I got to go fetch us water.
I always have to grab that booty.
Without consent.
I know, I do. I always grab his booty without consent. Hello, North Carolina. Aw, thank you. You're so sweet. Do we have an accountant? Yes. Thank you. Yeah, mirror cameras do feel strange. That's probably what's wrong with that one. Thank you. Was that Bret Hart? Some people have called him so. Hello, Myrtle Beach. Thank you. You guys are so sweet. What's this one say over here? To try 2 yards, thinking they're... Ah. Someone not being very nice on that one, but that's okay. Good evening from the Highlands of Scotland. Oh, how wonderful. I'd love to visit there someday. Thank you. How long have we been together? We've been together 25 years. Yes. Yes, it's fun to charter an accountant. No, we have an accountant. Through the wild accountancies. Thank you, thank you. Ah, if you're on the Arkansas-Oklahoma border, then you are local to me, yes. Hello, Minnesota. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Is that the silver anniversary? I'll try to ask him for something silver. Thank you. Thank you so much. You want to learn how to buy? Nope. You want to learn how to buy property with no down payment or credit. Yes, it is absolutely possible.
I did videos on that several times last year.
This was found during the Junk Fest. So our downtown area in Van Buren, which is the next town over, which we lived for many years, has a Junk Fest every year. So lots of stuff, people cleaning out and having sales, selling their old stuff, hoping to also procure new stuff. And so I found this at the junk sale.
She does need to make a new eye appointment. She's having to lean in very close to be able to read these things.
It's been on the list of things to do. I'm working my game plan. You
were trying to learn tile setting today and no luck. Ideas. What were you not having luck with? So when you're setting tile, you have to mix up mortar. You have to be able to cut the tiles to size. You need to be able to do the layout. Which part of it were you trying to do? Were you trying to do the prep work before?
Be reminding me tomorrow.
When am I heading to Hollywood? Well, I'm going to Ohio to film next month. Not Hollywood, but you never know. If they invite me to other movies, it might be in Hollywood.
Hello.
Yes, this is salt water. We drink salt water.
Why would you think that vampires don't do tile? Don't you think that we like to have beautiful bathrooms and kitchens? We do, my dears, we do.
Someone says I poisoned one of the glasses with iocane powder.
Oh, tasteless, odorless.
Mm-hmm.
But I've worked up my immunity.
Did you land in a vampire living room? Something like that. Welcome in. It's 7 o'clock. It's time we begin Varney. So if you've never joined us before, we're going to be reading Varney. We're going to be reading Varney the Vampire. This story is 50 years older than Dracula. It's one of the oldest English vampire stories, and it's the one that set most of the things you kind of think you know about vampires into action. We've been following Varney as he unalived a lady in order to take some gold from her in the last story. So if you recall,
the last several chapters,
he had heard this lady had a wealth of gold and decided to take it for himself. And he went back to the house, and there was a whole mob of people that saw him go into the house and came after him, but they didn't see his face. So now the town is searching for him, trying to figure out where the unaliver is. And he's been hanging out with the, what was their last name?
The Frasers.
The Frasers, that's right. Trying to woo their young lady.
The little sister of Mrs. Fraser.
The young sister who's only 17.
Oh, 17. That's naughty, naughty. The evening was spent agreeably enough at the Bath Theatre. Sir Francis Varney, having taken the greatest pains to integrate himself with Mary Stevens so much and so delicately that she could not but feel ashamed at her antipathy towards him, and certainly did all she could to get the better of it, and succeeded in some measure of doing so. They all returned home in very good humour with themselves and everything. Captain Fraser and his lady were completely predisposed to look upon Sir Francis Varney as one of the first men in England for rank and breeding. Even Mary Stevens was compelled to admit she never saw anyone whose demeanor was to be more admired more than his. The next morning they all assembled at the breakfast table and were all full of lively images and thoughts of the preceding evening. They had gone to a ball. Frances got back in time, just in time, to take the lady to a ball. There was much more of cordiality and intimacy than had been felt among them before, for Sir Francis Varney's courtliness gave way, and he became almost as one of the family. Mary looked upon him with something like wonder, to see how agreeable a man could be whom she disliked. 1 or 2 days more passed in this manner, and the dislike of Mary Stevens to Sir Francis, if not less, was at least not so active or violent, but she received him as an old friend. That much emboldened Sir Francis, who again resolved that he would speak to her, and that in the presence of her brother and sister, hoping by such proceeding that he should be able to overcome her dislike or fears by his own efforts, aided by Captain and Mrs. Fraser, who would create diversion in his favor.
I wish not to be impudent, but in a matter that concerns one's future hopes and wishes, one cannot well slumber over them. I wish to become one of such a family as that into which I find myself so strangely and accidentally introduced, though I fear I have failed to make myself as acceptable as I could wish.
Well, no one could think Sir Francis Varney otherwise than acceptable, said Captain Fraser. Your services to us alone would be enough to endow us all with the most lively gratitude and admiration, were you only to appear amongst us with no other qualifications. But you add those which evidently make any gentleman an ornament to the circle that he may grace with his acquaintance and friendship.
You take a favorable... Excuse me. You take a favorable view of all you come, or of all you see, Captain Fraser.
No.
Excuse me. Let me get some water.
I merely speak what I think upon the subject, which I have had, I may say, some experience. I have myself had some dealings in the world. My profession puts me forward, and I may repeat what I said.
No. I will not suffer you to do that. What I wish to do is to impress, if possible, my fair friend here with favorable sentiments towards myself. I am not as some of the young men of these times who win by the violence of their suit, which they urge with all the haste of violence to attack and storm the citadel.
That's a very good plan, Sir Francis. Why don't you yourself pursue such a system? It must carry the citadel by assault. Oh, no, said. You will not do anything of the kind. Was that the way in which you yourself acted? If so, I am sure that I pity my sister, for what can she hope for when she was taken in such a violent manner? Oh, no. Fraser was the unfortunate victor who was taken prisoner in the moment of victory. Why, yes, that is a fact. I was taken prisoner, but I have since been appointed governor in the enemy's country.
Well, that is a fortunate issue to your adventure. I would that mine were as fortunate. I love, and yet fear, to say so.
Fear never won a fair lady, said Fraser, so don't be afraid.
What does my fair enemy say her?
I had said so much upon the subject, sir. Before that, I was in hopes that I should not have had any occasion to say more.
I am so sorry to hear you say so.
Why is it a pity to render a matter that is settled uncertain, without the prospect of anything being gained by it?
So it is, but I hope that it is not the present case. Miss Stevens, my petition, I hope, is not rejected merely because it has suffered so before. I cannot but hope, through despair, forever stare me in the face. For it but perhaps devotion and heartfelt love may make some impression upon you, and I soften the rigors of a heart that I cannot, I am sure, feel any pleasure in the distress of another.
Oh, no, no, Sir Francis. You only do me justice in saying so much. I can indeed feel no pleasure in such things. You may rely upon it. Gratitude alone would prompt me to comply with any request that you might make at once and cheerfully. But you must admit that this is a question that alters the complexion of of other matters, and what might be proper under the circumstances cannot be expected under this.
Nor am I so unreasonable as to expect anything of the kind. Now, Miss Stevens, you must mistake Sir Francis Varney if you think him capable of such meanness. I wish that you would act from your own unbiased judgment, and however painful the result. Yet I would in silence put up with your decision. But still, I hope that you will not act imperatively, that you will look upon my suit with at least not a harsh and adverse spirit. Have some compassion upon one who is entirely at your mercy.
Come, come, Mary, do not act unkindly. I do not know what to say. I cannot give any other answer. Nay, I won't hear of such a thing, Mary. Now or never. I will not say that you must not be mindful of the past, but you are never ungraceful, that I know. You cannot be otherwise than happy. Oh, sister, you embarrass me.
Miss Stevens, let nothing weigh with you, save your own happiness. That is my object, and my own at the same time.
Say yes, Mary. I cannot.
Will not? What objection? What on earth could you wish for more?
Oh, do not press me.
I should be sorry to do so at such a moment, were it decidedly your desire not to give an answer now. But I do beg you, will not let me linger longer than necessary. Indeed, I find I cannot exist in your society and be deprived of the hope that I may call you one day my own.
Oh, do say yes, Mary, say yes.
Will Miss Stevens give me leave to suppose that there may be a time when I may be rewarded for my patience? I will not press you for a plain answer now, but give me some token that I am not to remain unhappy.
Come, Mary, come. Sir Francis gives you every indulgence. But Mary was obstinate. Some time longer until Sir Francis, in a transport, pressed her hand and placed it to his lips. At the same time, she suffered her silence to be construed into a consent to his wishes.
Consent. It was even a thing then.
Well, Sir Francis, said Captain Fraser, let me congratulate you in having subdued the enemy, and you, Mary, in having such a conqueror. I protest it was a hard-fought battle, and one that I could not tell who would prove triumphant.
I feel well assured you may congratulate me, Captain Fraser. I congratulate myself. I assure you, therefore, you may do so to me.
I do heartily.
Thank you. I shall be happy. But what are the tactics for the night?
Well, what are we to do?
Yes, precisely.
Oh, I suppose that we have a nice party amongst ourselves. We can amuse ourselves, I dare say. I am fatigued myself, and I care not to go out tonight. We have all gone out so much lately that it will be a change and a rest. Oh, so it will. I'm really glad that we shall have one night on which we can retire. Sorry, your thumb had distracted me.
I'm very sorry.
It's okay.
Go ahead, read.
So it will. I'm really glad that we shall have one night on which we can retire at an early hour.
It cannot be dull at all events. In such company, I shall be happy to remain with you. Indeed, I feel that a quiet, happy evening is a thing that would be very acceptable to me, at least, but still I can do as you please.
Well then, we will have a quiet evening amongst ourselves. Have you heard anything more about the unaliving that took place the other day?
No. Have you?
I have, said Mrs. Fraser.
What have you heard?
I will tell you. You recollect that the nephew had been suspected of having unalived the two women and committed a robbery afterwards?
Yes, I heard so much.
Well, that they have taken the nephew now, and he has been examined before a police constable, and will be again examined in another day or two.
Indeed, they have made quick work of it. How can they suspect he had any hand in the affair?
I believe that they knew that he had been very poor, and had been very impatient for the old woman to be unalived by the hand of time, so that he might have it all. Now, such a line of conduct was bad, and had caused persons to suspect him, and also the fact that he has got a quantity of gold about him, not for the possession of which that he cannot account.
Ah, that seems bad. But what kind of excuse can he give for the possession of such treasure? He is surely not silent.
Oh dear, no, he's not silent. All he says, however, is that his aunt gave him it to leave the country with.
That is strange and very singular.
Oh, it is, and that is why they disbelieve it. Besides, he had made no preparations for his departure, that have yet been discovered anyway. Besides, his shoes were evidently soiled with human blood, and the footsteps in the passage and on the stairs, at least some of them, were exactly of the same size.
That is a strong proof. Wait a minute. How do they know it's human blood?
Well, I don't know.
Well, this is the 1820s.
I know. It's
In
like,
England.
How would they tell? I don't know.
Are they doing a DNA test on it? Do they have like some little vials and they put some droppers in and
Well,
send it to the crime lab?
perhaps
we
it
need
smells
answers.
slightly different.
I don't know.
Would there be a different odor?
I mean, obviously they assume they can tell the difference here and nobody's questioning it, but I just wonder how they would know that.
I don't know.
Does
Do you
anyone
know? Do you know?
Okay, sorry. Continue.
So it is strong proof, but there appears to have been an accomplice, for there are another set of footmarks of a different size, much larger and longer.
Dear me. Didn't you say there were many people who ran up the stairs after the man who got away?
Oh, yes, to be sure.
Well, some of them might have left a footprint.
Well, I suppose they might, and yet they must have reasons for saying that these footsteps were those of an accomplice. Perhaps they were fresher than the others, or maybe they have a different appearance from the more recent ones.
It may be so.
However it may be, it is quite certain that he has done the deed. Whether he had any help or not, he at least will be punished.
No doubt he ought to suffer for such a deed. It is that which gives security to the rest of society.
But it was a dreadful thing. An unaliving committed by a friend or a relation is, I think, so much more heinous, if possible, than when committed casually by ordinary unalivers, whose sole crimes are unaliving and robbery.
If you haven't noticed, we censor these stories for our online social media. To be sure, when any tie that can bind one individual to another is broken, who would have taken precautions against such as those who we value? But he was ungrateful and unalived his benefactress. For such she had been. That's the end of our first chapter. We're going to chit-chat with you guys for a little bit and take a breather. Give her the chance to rest her voice. Thank you, everybody. Let's see, what do we got talking about here? She does look fabulous, doesn't she? She's incredible. Thank you, Marion. Thank you so much for the well wishes. Amanda, we love you back. Hey, Brand.
Thank you so much.
Would we ever do an Audible book? It's possible. If it worked out, then we got to. Do we ever watch True Blood? Suki is incredibly adorable. That was a fun show. That's been a long time ago that you watched that.
So we already work full time, and so we would have to see. I don't know how much Audible usually pays its artists, so that would be a thing. I need to know how much they pay versus how much we're already making to see if it is actually worth my time to switch over some of the things that I do in the day to making Audible books.
Do you ever say bleh, bleh, bleh? Bleh, bleh. No, I never say that. Makeup
Thank you.
tutorials. Aw, people want makeup
Oh,
tutorials.
thank you. When being a little bit more gothic, do have a face powder that's at least one shade lighter than your natural tone.
Laura says I could teach men to be respectful. Aw, I've considered actually doing like man classes of some kind.
Thank you.
Welcome, Kentucky. Thank you for joining us, Tina. She does have the cutest laugh.
Thank you.
How's the hair transplant going? I guess either one would be applicable. It's growing. It's doing much, much better. I'm going to have a series. I'm going to do a video with a series of photos I've been taking over the last 3 months since we did it. And it's been about 3 months now, but it's definitely improving. How do you think? Do you feel like it's made a pretty big difference?
It has. But one of the big things was they shaved the whole back of his head in order to be able to pluck hair follicles from the back
Right.
where it was full to the top. And this has grown back in.
So yeah, all this was cut super short,
And
which is weird.
that
for me.
really looked terrible at first. And this has grown back in. And so things are looking much better just with that, too. But there's definitely hair growth going on up here. And it should fill in more with time.
Was it painful? Much more so than I would have expected. Maybe off topic, but you guys seem so happy and peaceful.
Thank you.
What's the key? The key is something that I use to unlock doors, and the key to being happy and peaceful. I guess
You are mistaken. He is my handler.
I guess the thing for me is you need to be happy as you are, with nothing else, just you. Not money, not the relationship, not anything else, but just happy on your own. And if she's happy on her own, then when we're together, we're just going to be happy. We're not looking for the other person to make that. But I think also good communication about stuff. I think that's important. Allowing yourselves to change and grow over time. We're a lot different than we were long ago when we got together. And if we had the same relationship we had when we first got together, we wouldn't be happy right now. We wouldn't be able to make that work. I couldn't be married to the girl that I married back then. We would be too incompatible. We both changed greatly over time, but we changed together.
Together. Going through life together. Going through life together.
You're adorable.
I love you. Two heads are much more
When
fun.
I'm from New Hampshire and I've been following you for a while, I really hope you become mayor. I think you have some awesome ideas. Well, thank you so much. And we're going to have a lot more content coming out about the mayor's race now that we've started the petition. That was the last major hurdle I had to get. Now I'm putting together.
Oh, I was thinking about what the one gentleman said in the city council meeting last night. So one of our city leaders said something about transparency, that it was a fad.
It was a fad and a buzzword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When one of your city leaders, elected city officials, says that transparency is a fad and a buzzword.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we need new leadership. We already knew that.
Well, what gets me too is that this guy is also the pastor of a church.
Yep.
And that blows my mind even more, to not only be an elected official that you want in there to be, there's a word I'm looking for. They use it when you're a realtor or a fiduciary.
A fiduciary responsibility to your
Yes.
constituents. That's a fancy sentence.
Yes.
That's a high dollar sentence.
So when you have a person that you have elected and you're expecting them to be representing you and they're like, oh, transparency is a buzzword.
Yeah.
Oh, Malanta. Oh. Ooh.
I appreciate that. And respect is key, Shelley. Respect is key.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're from New Hampshire, not Hampshire. Oh, well, I suppose that's slightly different places.
Thank
Come
you.
to Kentucky and you'd vote.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Shane won't win because you're a respectful and smart businessman. They don't want good guys. Well, sometimes it may feel that way, but
I agree that sometimes politics absolutely feels that way.
I can promise you there are some good people
Hi,
that can do
Cocoa
things.
Beach. I have a friend that lives in Cocoa Beach.
Yes, we've got some fun pictures we took there once. It was beautiful, beautiful spot. You can watch the rocket launches. You like the shirt? Well, let me make this easy for you to get.
You can do it on my phone, remember?
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
Well, I've already done it here, I think.
You put it in the showcase.
Yeah. So
For those of you on the ticket to
if
talk.
you like the shirt, there you go. You can get you one.
He put this shirt in the showcase.
It's less than $20.
It is a TikTok shop shirt.
Ooh. Isn't it amazing?
He's like, don't lay on the microphone.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you should start putting it, farther in the middle or over here on the side.
Are you vampires? Are you human? Do you ever even bother to think about it, or do you just go about your day not even giving a thought to things? I don't know that we are the power couple, but I appreciate the compliment. We are a power couple. We'll go that way.
It looks more like a jewel that way there, too.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of trying to center it.
Hello, Baltimore.
The microphone. You don't feel like you're a human. Fair, you probably aren't.
At the start of our city council meeting yesterday, there was a cosmetic dentist that had to come up and take a look at my teeth. He was very curious how they were done, so that was fun.
Oh, how wonderful.
You're from Sparks, Nevada. They say we're too close to Reno. You can see Sparks.
That's cute.
That's funny. I've been to Virginia City area. We've been to Reno for a convention about
Virginia
4
City
years
is
ago.
really surprising.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the cutest little tourist trap.
It really was.
So if you are in the Nevada area, going to Reno, you should check out Virginia City. It's pretty awesome. Did you know that they used to have camel races? Camel races in Reno, around Virginia City.
I did not know this. Camel races?
You did too. You read the thing with me.
I don't remember this.
You
The
don't remember
information
reading?
didn't get stored in my head. For some
You
reason,
don't
it's stored
remember
in
reading that they brought camels to Nevada, and they had camel racing. That the army, our government at one point brought camels to the desert in Nevada.
Well, I mean, we were doing overseas things, I guess, during World War I, Lawrence of Arabia times, so camels were appropriate transportation. I mean, I could see that. I could see that. The comments do go very fast. I don't get to answer everything. Was the dentist impressed? I think he was surprised, yes. Welcome in, Canada.
Hello,
Appreciate
Indiana.
you, Debbie.
Yes, Virginia City is awesome.
How did we meet? She was dating my roommate.
I did date his roommate.
Scandalous. She upgraded. We're still friends with the roommate. He's a good dude.
He is a good fella.
And they were broken up before she and I ever.
Thank you. I got this necklace at Junk Fest. So if you are local to the Fort Smith, Arkansas region, you'll know that Van Buren, the town just to the north, has a Junk Fest every year. And so I got the bracelet and the necklace as a set at the Junk Fest.
All right, I'm going to remove this shirt now. All right, there we go.
Junk Fest is usually in the autumn.
She is incredible.
Junk Fest is fun.
What's my favorite vampire film or show? I think True Blood is the most fun vampire show. My favorite vampire film, Lost Boys. It has the advantage of being the most 80s vampire movie ever made.
It's pretty awesome.
I mean, there's some, like, Once Bitten was made in the 80s, but, you know, that could have been in the 90s and still been the same, you know, movie. But Lost Boys, that can only exist in the middle of the 80s. I mean, the saxophone guy with, like, that's the most 80s vampire movie ever.
Someone asked, what is Junk Fest? Our little town has a festival, the town just north of us, called Junk Fest. It's fun.
What made me interested in vampire things? Nothing made me interested in vampire things specifically. What made you interested in human things? Let's reverse that question. Think about how silly of a question that is.
This lipstick color is She's Just Jelly. It's by Beauty Bakery.
Yeah, lots of thrift items at Junk Fest. Lots and lots and lots. It's a giant thrift event.
It's pretty cool.
Can you be my vampire parents and adopt me? We get asked that a lot, don't we?
Were we always into vampires? Well, I guess I could be into myself.
That's kind of enjoyable to watch, I can tell you.
My goodness.
Good
He's
evening.
a naughty
Good night,
boy.
everybody. Hey, Jason. Long time no see, buddy.
Hello. May I have a drink of water?
What does a good girl say when she wants?
Please pass the water.
That's right.
Thank you. Yes, we're about to start the next chapter.
Yeah, we're 30,000 taps in. At 50,000, I'll do some illusions for you. What do we think about the remake of Interview with a Vampire?
I didn't know.
The series, I think, is what they're talking about.
Oh, the series. Okay.
Yeah. It's got some good elements to it for sure. I don't dislike it.
You need roses. I need roses too. I like roses. The days flew by.
Like birds.
And the aspect of affairs insensibly changed. Sir Francis Varney gradually drew over the scene such an appearance of candor and disinterestedness that the Frasers were delighted with the prospect of such an alliance, and they left no means of propitiating and influencing Miss Stevens in his favor, and they succeeded to a certain extent in stifling all expressions of dissent, and brought her to a state of passive obedience. She had nothing to allege against Sir Francis but her dislike to him, and even that she felt was weaker, and the more she exerted her mind, the weaker such impressions appeared to be, a convincing proof to her that it was a mere blind, reasonless prejudice, which it was her duty to throw off, and she exerted herself to do so. Thus it was that she became passive in the hands of her friends, and Sir Francis Varney had the satisfaction of seeing that he was about to pick up a bride at length. His pleasure knew no bounds, and his eyes glistened in a manner that once or twice Mary recoiled from.
I forgot to plug in the laptop.
Mary recoiled from him in terror, and she had nearly revived her first feelings against him. However, that might have been. He saw his error, and he conducted himself differently afterwards, for he too well knew the effect that it must have upon the artless and beautiful young girl, whose affections he cared not to win, so that he stifled her objections and obtained her hand. Her heart was not with him an object. "I think now," said Captain Fraser to Sir Francis when they were alone, "I think now, Sir Francis, that we ought to come to some understanding."
I shall be but too happy, Captain Fraser, to do so in every sense of the word, and upon every subject we can have in common.
Then we shall have no difficulty in this affair.
I hope not, I assure you.
Well then, Sir Francis, you desire to marry into our family.
Most unquestionably. My heart and fortune are at the disposal of Miss Stevens. I care for nothing else but her. Fortunate Captain Fraser is no object to me. I do not care for a single penny. I have enough for myself.
Money is not happiness itself.
I believe it, and I feel it.
And yet Mary is not penniless. She has her dower, though by no means a large one, yet she has one.
then let the whole, whatever it may be safely secured, made over for her own use, and that of her children.
It is generous, very generous of you, Sir Francis, and your generosity much embarrasses me, and I hardly know how to proceed with a little matter which I deem a part of my duty to perform.
Do not let me be a hindrance to you. I am, excuse me, I am sure I should regret it much. Besides, the more we know of each other, the greater confidence we have in each other, provided our knowledge is all that character will increase our respect.
You are quite right, Sir Francis.
Well, Captain, I hope what you are going to say will give me cause to feel myself less happy than I... Oh, okay.
Well, not.
Sorry. Excuse me. There was a knot in there. Well, Captain, I hope that what you are going to say will not give me cause to feel myself less happy than I currently am.
Well, I hope not. I believe not. But what I was about to say is a very ordinary and common occurrence on an occasion like the present.
Well, let me know all about it. And when the unaliver will be out?
I'm thinking it's another way to say the cat's out of the bag.
Oh, like a saying, because that doesn't really make sense as a sentence.
Yes, I tried to look it up online and everything, trying to get the feel for what they were saying, so maybe we could say it in a different way, but I'm just not quite right with it.
Yeah, I don't know that we have a equivalent saying to that. Okay.
It says, let me know all about it, and then the unaliving will be out. And I'm like, what an interesting choice of words, Francis.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Well, good. We have but little more than personal communication with each other, apart from our respective homes, and we do not know much of each other other than the ordinary anticipation of the word. I wish to know something relative to your private affairs.
I really cannot do so unless you travel northward with me.
Indeed.
Stop. I can give you corroborative proof. I have none direct about me, but I can do that much. But perhaps it will not do.
Quite enough. I am satisfied. If you can give me corroborative proof of what you say, and that without premeditations, it will be still stronger and more valuable.
If you think it so, what do you say to those 2 letters, Captain Fraser?
2 letters?
The one is from my gamekeeper, and the other is from my bailiff, who has to overlook my property and advise me of what was being done on the estate and the state of the financial affairs.
They will do, sir, I believe.
As Captain Fraser took the 2 letters, he looked at the postmarks and saw that they were plain and readable, and the date that they had been very correctly described by Sir Francis Varney, and they came from the north, and one was a business-like letter from the bailiff, and one quite in keeping from the head gamekeeper, both of whom mentioned many local and petty matters that fully bore out all there was to be expected from them.
And do you keep up an establishment of this character, Sir Francis?
I do. I can afford it. I do not like to turn the knaves adrift on the world, who have ever since I've been born looked for abundance from the soil that produced them, and I don't think I shall be justified in having the hardness of heart to turn them off.
You are a good and kind master.
I wish to be so.
And when, Sir Francis, do you intend to return there?
I'm glad you asked the question. I should like to take my bride there to spend the honeymoon. I wish now to leave other objects and to get back to as soon as the ceremony is over. There I should like to take her. It would be a rare and splendid life to lead at the old Gothic mansion, as much like a castle as anything I can describe, but an ornamented castle, of course, for I don't mean high walls and no windows.
Certainly not.
But will you assist me in obtaining her consent to speedy union, and that effected, we will whirl off to the mansion, and you can follow us at leisure. The union will, I hope and believe, be most happy.
Well, I hope so. I trust and believe it will.
In the meantime, any more information or proof you can desire shall be obtained for you. Do not be backward upon this heed.
I am quite satisfied, Sir Francis.
Thus Sir Francis Varney had succeeded in hoodwinking the Captain Fraser and his wife, and had now entirely subdued all show of objection, and had so far succeeded as to obtain a quiet and tacit consent to all he desired. The interview described was reported to Mrs. Fraser and her sister, and was considered liberal and satisfactory, and the marriage was spoken of as likely to be immediate, which brought forth no remark from Mary, and the matter was considered as neatly settled. The day was only to be appointed, and that could not be very distant. One morning, as they were seated at breakfast, and that after the day had been fixed at a greater distance of time than Sir Francis Varney liked, the subject of the unaliving was again brought up, and Mrs. Fraser said, "There's nothing more about the unaliving now, is there?"
No, not that I have heard of. I believe the unfortunate man will be tried one of these days, if he stands committed.
Stop, said Captain Fraser. Here's something in the paper.
"Oh, what is it?"
Something more about the unaliving.
What is it? I am anxious to learn if they have done anything more, for I was so sick of it and wish to know when such a horrible tragedy will end. The sooner it is past and forgotten, the better.
"Well, that is true, for knowing a man is lying waiting for the hour to arrive when he shall be unalived, a violent unaliving, is truly terrible."
So it is. They seem to say that there is some clue to another person of a most remarkable appearance who escaped through another house and deceived the inmates by describing a fire that was upstairs.
Indeed, how strange.
Yes, they say that they will not publish more, lest it defeat the ends of justice.
"Something else sprang up, I suppose?"
No doubt. But here is something more. The prisoner will be tried in a few days, and, if condemned, executed in a very short time.
"Then I wish that one happy marriage would come off before that time. I'm sure Mary will be wretched, and I cannot be so happy as I could wish to be."
Then postpone it for a few weeks.
No, 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 that would never do. Hasten it. Besides, we should have to pass through all the wretchedness consequent upon knowing a man, a murderer, is in... I love the TikTok
I
shop.
love the TikTok shop.
TikTok shop is amazing, everybody.
We buy so many things from the TikTok
Yes.
shop.
You knowing a man, a unaliver, it is true in perhaps two of them that is waiting to unalive.
I think myself that we might, with advantage, leave Bath before the trial takes place. It would certainly be more comfortable.
So it would. And to tell the truth, I begin to get tired of this place, beautiful as it is. In fact, I want to get to your mansion in the north.
Not more than I do, madam. Will Miss Stevens permit me to persuade her to shorten my period of probation to escape some of the disagreeability we have mentioned relative to this unhappy affair?
The wedding... Oh, go ahead.
So, as you can tell, this wedding is being orchestrated as a business affair, and some weddings occurred that way. But when you read in stories like this from the time, there would be lots of them orchestrated in the stories because they're dramatic. We have the unhappy bride that's being pushed against her will into this and all of that, and that can give you the perception that that's how all weddings were at the time. But just like when you read a story now, it's going to be about, secret agents running for their lives and people pulling out pew-pews and chases and cars ramping over things. That's because it's interesting. That's why we see that over and over again. This makes it more interesting. It really wasn't that common.
The wedding morning was arrived. Sir Francis Varney had not been sparing off his ill-gotten gains. He willingly made some handsome presents to Mrs. Fraser and Mary Stevens. Jewels were the form he gave them in, and Sir Francis himself took care to display no small degree of ornament, and yet he appeared to be a man who, though wearing and having the best of all, still wore but little ornament. But the occasion made the change in his habit. And now the post-horses are ready at the door, ready to bear them northwards. They are at the church. Sir Francis and Mary Stevens, leaning upon his arm, come before the altar, and the friends of the bride were on either side of them. The clergyman was about to read, but asked first if any knew of any cause or impediment, etc., to the marriage. No answers returned, when there was some bustle at the other end of the church, and the clergyman paused to ascertain its character.
It's not going to be the Admiral again, is it? I want Varney to finally get married. Okay, let's see what happens this time.
In a moment more, there was a motley group of persons making towards the altar, and foremost among these were 2 or 3 peace officers, and after them a woman dressed in many clothes, which added to her natural obesity.
"Ah, that's him. That's the wagabone that said my house was on fire when it wasn't. That's him as frightened me so I'm quite thin about it." "Shiver me timbers! And they begin to creak about now, darn the gout. But that's Varney the vampire. Who'd have thought that he'd always be turning up in this way, like an old mop that nobody can use?"
Varney turned to the clergyman and begged that these mad people might be turned out, and after the ceremony that he would meet any proper accusation at a proper time and place. But he showed his anger so strongly that Mary shrank from him, while the 2 officers demanded him as a prisoner. The clergyman yielded, and Sir Francis, striking the officer near him down, made a rush at the side door and escaped. The fact was, there had been more than one doubt about the unaliving, and Sir Francis had been followed to the hotel the night of the unaliving by one of the waiters, who came up behind him. They took his shoes and found that they were bloody, and all things being traced home to him, it was agreed to capture him at home. But he had left for the church when the officers followed him. Old Admiral Bell, who was gouty, happened to see him pass and determined to unmask him, which he did.
Admiral Bell again. Someday Varney's going to get one over on Admiral Bell.
You think so?
I think so.
Admiral Bell had a very, very short appearance this time.
Yes, well.
Last time it was still larger. Last time he appeared in a
Oh,
way.
we got to 50K. That means I need
How
to do
wonderful.
some magic for you guys. Let's see. What do we have here? How about some cards? Excuse me. I'll be happy to talk to you in just a minute, Party Truck. I saw some of your comments coming through while we were reading. So you haven't been ignored. First, I owe you guys a magic trick because you got to enough taps. So pay attention. I have here a deck of cards. What I'm going to do is very simple, at least to explain. And that's I'm going to take a card, put it in the deck backwards, or pull it out of the deck, put it in the deck backwards. What makes this more difficult is that I'm going to do so using only my tongue. And you're going to get to pick the card. Somebody give me a card.
Well, I'm not sure what church they were in here in the book, but I imagine it was one of the churches of England.
Oh.
Oh, you're letting Donna pick.
Uh-huh.
There you go, Donna.
Oh.
She has picked the 5 of clubs for those of you who are on the other platforms.
Mm.
The petition is going all right for just starting. Hello, Belfast. Let's see if he's got. Let's see if he has accomplished his goal.
See if you can find the 5 of clubs.
And try to stay out of his way here.
Give me room. Yeah, give me room, woman. Oh.
Oh my.
You're in my way. Do you see the 5 of clubs there? Trying to make sure all the cameras can see it nicely.
Well, the one way over here on this side's.
I moved it over that way.
You gotta make sure they can see.
See? That's right.
Hello.
Donna, you owe me a galaxy.
Thank you, Donna.
I know. Most guys can't even find the bean ladies. It's okay.
Someone wants to gift me remedial reading classes, aren't they kind? Thank you so much.
That's so kind of you. What does remedial mean? All right, so political experience. In 2016, I ran a political action committee that sought to change one of the hardest laws to change in the entire United States via petition is liquor from a dry county
Thank
to a wet county in
you.
Arkansas requires 38% of the registered electorate.
Thank you so much, Donna.
Our county never even has 30% voter turnout. We spent $650,000 that I raised from various providers. We employed over 30 people throughout the campaign and raised 29,000 signatures in a county with 68,000 people. You need water? There you go. Love you. I've been a part of Chamber of Commerce groups, including Leadership Crawford County, which is a county right next to Fort Smith, Sebastian County. I was a graduate of 2013, I think, Leadership Crawford County. I'll have to double check on that. I was a part of actions of the Fort Smith Chamber of Commerce. I mean, I don't know what you want to know exactly. Her voice changing is incredible, Anna. What a big Adam's apple I have. Yeah, I guess it's a...
An Adam's apple a day.
Yeah. What things are you looking to change in your community that would benefit... hang on. That won't benefit your business, but will benefit all? Well, anything that's all will benefit my business. That's the nature of whoever's there. A rising tide carries all ships. The city of Fort Smith has a reputation of being incredibly anti-business. By anti-business, I mean it's very difficult to go through the process of starting a business in Fort Smith. The compliance, the building inspections and planning when you're doing things. I'll put it in perspective. In 2022, I was opening a business with someone, and we had to hire an architect at one point. And I was going to hire an architect from Tulsa, Oklahoma, about 2 hours away, but he's a friend of the family at the time. And the landlord had hired a different architect, one of the local ones. And the local architect immediately said, "Does this guy know how hard it's going to be to work with the city of Fort Smith?" And I was like, "Well, I've told him that it's difficult." He's like, "Yeah, but you really need to stress because our city is so much more difficult to work with other places. He's not going to be prepared for that." You never want your city to have a reputation of being difficult to work with. That is not good. People in Northwest Arkansas, an hour north of here, there's an incredible amount of development and business there. And I have conversations on the regular with people that would open offices and open businesses down here, but they've been advised that it isn't worth the trouble of doing business in Fort Smith. That is not the reputation we need our city to have. So not only do we need to change that, but we need to advertise that we're changing that. And I'm the kind of person that is, and this is just an aptitude I have, I get attention. I'm the kind of person that can help to bring about enough attention to the changes that we're making. That's why I think I'm most qualified for this job. Fort Smith, Arkansas is the name of our city. We're drinking salt water. Do I have a climate justice platform? I do not have a climate justice platform, no.
We do not know about the infinite person.
Depends on what industry you're bringing. My city disagrees with legal gardening, and you agree with it. Well, most of those things are decided on a state basis or a zoning and planning basis. Our state is the one that made those decisions, and I don't think the city has a lot to say or do about that other than what they allow as far as zoning goes.
Yes, we drink salt water.
I wonder if there is someone in law that would have a investment in that happening. I don't exactly understand what you mean by that comment. Hi, Patricia. Welcome in.
Hello. So, here's the deal, Pickle.
I don't detect any hate or any judgment. We're starting a new section of the book now, aren't we?
Yes, we ended that part of our story, and we get to move on to the next part of Varney's adventures.
This is the third time Varney almost got married.
Yep.
I want him to get married.
She seems like the nicest girl out of the three so far.
Yeah, she wasn't just in it for the money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Although he had to subdue her first and kind of push down her whole personality.
Yeah, that wasn't cool.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. You can gain respect and you can gain a following from a person by earning their respect and their follow. And then they get to maintain their entire personality and all the wonderful things that you love about them. When you have to push somebody down to the point that they lose those qualities in order to follow you, that's not real leadership. Real leadership is bringing out the qualities that are in a person and helping them to become more vibrant and more what they really are.
Now, a lot of people drink salt water. You might know it as Gatorade. There is salt in Gatorade.
Powerade.
Mm-hmm.
Pedialyte. You've probably given your kids Pedialyte before.
We just don't have any of the junk that's in there with it. There's no sugar in ours. There's no artificial colors or flavors. It's just the electrolytes.
When it says electrolytes, that's a fancy word for salt.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Libby. Welcome in.
Thank you.
If I had to choose between gin or tequila, most of the time I will choose gin.
So he likes those juniper berries.
But I'm not much of a drinker. I might have 1 or 2 drinks a whole month.
A person was asking if carnivore diet was okay for someone who's anemic. We would like to preface that we are not doctors, but I would like to say that if you're eating some nice red beef and you're primarily eating that, and that is like most of everything that you're eating every single day, your anemia will probably get better. Even more so if you decide to cook in a nice iron skillet, because that'll give you that heme iron. Now you can overdo cooking in an iron skillet, which is what I did to him for 20 years. And I actually gave him too much iron. So he has to go donate blood this week.
I know. I've been wanting to take care of that. I was hoping I would get to it today, but I'm thinking I will have time tomorrow. I'm going to have a time with some paint drying. And during the time of the paint drying, I'm going to go take care of that.
So, you know, if you are chronically running low on iron and you do things like eating red meat and cooking in an iron skillet and you are still low on your iron, then you have something else going on and you really, really need to work with your physician to figure out what mysterious thing is keeping you down on your iron and your ferritin.
New to the carnivore diet, overdo the fat. Asking for advice. Overdo. Eat lots of butter.
It'll feel like you're overdoing it.
Lots and lots and lots of butter. Lots and lots of beef tallow.
If you are not used to having enough fat, it'll feel like you're having too much at first because you're not used to having as much.
And some of it's just going to come right through you and end up in the toilet. That is normal, especially your first few months of carnivore.
Well, do we want to start the next section or do we want to just chit-chat for the night and
What would you
start
guys
the next?
like? Would you like some more story time or would you like us to just hang out and chit-chat for a little bit? We'll let you decide.
You better do a poll.
You decide. Okay, I'll do a poll on TikTok because it's easier to do a poll on TikTok.
Ooh.
Sorry. I'm not sorry.
I have to move out of the way.
We're going to
You
do a
guys can hear me.
poll. All right, this will
Nobody
be a
else
quick
can hear
poll.
me.
Smiley face, we chit-chat. Sad face, we read our story. All right, come back.
I was just talking to my people.
Have you seen the back of this dress yet? Have you shown off the back?
I have not shown out the back of this dress tonight.
Seems like we've got a lot more in favor of chit-chatting.
Which one's which?
The smiley one is chit-chatty. The sad face is...
Gotcha.
Look at the back of this dress. Wow. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. I absolutely love this dress. Absolutely love it. All right.
How many years have I had this dress now?
I don't remember.
3?
Maybe.
4?
I know. She's incredible.
I've had it for 3 or 4 years. Thank you.
All right. We're definitely going to chit-chat, it seems. So we'll set Varney aside, and we'll be back next Wednesday to read some more Varney. And in the meantime, we can hang out and chit-chat.
I got some rose oil today. Smells good.
Sinaloa, Mexico. Welcome in.
I do eat bone marrow if I get some. It's not something that I get my fingers on too often.
How long have we been married? A long time. We had an anniversary not too long ago.
We are not on any weird list. What are we dressed up for? To hang out with you, darling.
Mm-hmm.
You love hearing about the food and lifestyle and exploring.
Will I do another
unhealthy
video
ways.
on credit? Yes,
Oh,
I did
thank
one on
you.
the 1st, and TikTok was having problems on the 1st of the month. I don't know if y'all realized from a lot of our creators. So that video just disappeared. It's no longer in existence. I don't know where it is.
Really?
Yeah.
Just went whoosh.
So you could always look on my other platforms. Shane is Great everywhere. If you look on the 1st of the month, there will always be a credit building video.
What state are we in? We are in Arkansas.
What is the point of the canines?
There-
It's right here. See? There's the point. The point is where it kind of, it's fatter at the base and then it comes to a point. Does that answer your question?
Thank you. You love watching our videos all the way from New Zealand. Thank you so much. Are we related? We have done the DNA tests and we are not. How much do our Airbnbs cost? That varies from season to, the weekdays and weekends. Those are different. But I want to say that depending on which one you rent, which we have one that is a 1-bath, 1-bedroom, and then we have one that is a 4-bedroom house with 2 bathrooms, it's with the dining room and the whole shebang. The price runs from, $90 on some of our cheapest days for the 1-bedroom, 1-bath to about $300 for the 4-bedroom, 2-bath on our busiest festival. So we have, for instance, the Still Horse Rally is coming up, and all of the prices during the Still Horse Rally are uplifted because we are expecting 10 to 20,000 bikers into town.
100,000. Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, 100,000 bikers in town. It's a big festival.
Did we ever fix our account that got hacked? So no, my account is still currently has me banned. It wasn't hacked. I got banned for impersonating myself. And only Zuckerberg could do that. Yes, I'm literally banned for impersonating myself. I've got a person currently working on trying to get me access again, but all I can do is post and go live like this. That's all I can do on the platform. I can't even send a message to you unless you message me first.
We've never watched the Grim Life Collective. Sounds interesting. We have limited amounts of time to watch things.
She is beautiful, inside and outside, in every possible way. She is terrific.
This is She's Just Jelly from Beauty Bakery. Hey, Joe. Thank you for the hearts. What are us kids up to lately? Keep on working. We work and work and work.
I was installing kitchen cabinets today. I'm doing a less than $2,000 kitchen overhaul on a house. I'll have a whole video about it probably later this week, but it's going to be incredible how bad this house went to how awesome it went for less than $2,000.
So we did get a renter for the tiny house. And I also, today, I sewed up one of our pillows in our B&Bs, so sometimes things get damaged and you have to do some fixing. So I was sewing up one of our pillows while my cleaning crew was cleaning places so I could put the pillow back. It's in the shape of a rocket ship. It's a really fun pillow. So I was trying to take care of stuff.
Most everybody's paying their rent, so I don't think I'm going to have to do any evictions. I've got one person we may have to deal with soon, but I'm hoping not.
They haven't paid for February.
Yeah, we're hoping that's
and
rectified
they haven't paid
tomorrow.
For March.
They're supposed to be paying me tomorrow. We will see.
Okay.
Yeah, we will see.
No vacancies.
Not currently.
Our places are all very occupied at the moment. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Joe, welcome in. how's the mayor process going? So we had a big victory. So the petition is the main part right now. My campaign, the election isn't until November. Right now, we're trying to gather signatures to turn our city into a true mayoral form of government. And I just started the petition last week. I got Jeff Dingman to sign it in the video. If you didn't see the video, he's our current city administrator. So to have him sign it was a huge win. But the biggest win came yesterday during city council. If you were joining me while we were live, the city council has now agreed to do a study session to figure out what it's going to take from their perspective when we get this petition to go through. They're no longer, they've been treating me like, oh, I'm just some weird guy on TikTok trying to get attention. That's all it was, and thinking I would go away. And now they're actually taking it seriously and understand that we're really going to make this happen.
I can't ever get it.
We recently lost our savings. We were going to redo our floors. DIY ideas. Sandpaper is cheap. It's a lot of work. It doesn't cost much money. Sandpaper and polyurethane. And you can redo some floors and you can make them beautiful.
I've actually seen people do some pretty neat things with even plywood.
Yes, I am still running for mayor.
Ooh, wow.
If we win mayor, am I going to stick it or I didn't get it all red. Oh well. How can I afford to get the trees cut down in my property? Any ideas? Different tree guys will be at different prices, so definitely get more than one quote. Sometimes it depends on how busy they are.
Yes, you're going to talk to somebody about the trees at my mother's house.
Ah, yes.
Yes, she's been asking you for a wee bit.
Yeah, I need to take care of that.
A year. A year.
I do.
A year. My mother's been asking for your help with trees.
Even I have a mother-in-law. Yep. How did you guys start buying all these houses? So we started by playing a board game called Cash Flow. You can find it on my TikTok showcase. It is amazing. Literally played it one time. The next day I called a bank. We got a loan to buy our first property. We buy all of our houses with loans, and so should you. You shouldn't pay cash for houses. Thank you so much for your kind blessings.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cash flow.
Cash flow. We'll add it into the showcase to make it easier for you. We helped you through some dark days recently. Thank you and many blessings. Shalina, thank you so much. Thank you. How would I go about having the front of the... Raven. I almost got to read the whole message. The problem is when they get pinned, I only get to see the top half. I don't get to see the whole thing, so...
Thank you.
Yes, you should pay cash if you have it. Rich people do. Think about that. Rich people don't pay cash for houses. You need to read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad if you think rich people pay cash for things. In fact, like the wealthiest people, your
They like using
Bezoses,
other people's money.
your Elon Musks, billionaires still use loans on their houses. Pressure wash the front of the house with a water spigot thingy. We have a pressure washer we could probably bring over and we could figure this out for you. It's getting to be springtime. Don't just listen to Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey is, he teaches to stay out of debt, so on and so forth. Dave Ramsey is the carpenter that we hired to help us on a house project. In the first day when we were building the house, he had the hammer and the nail and he was hammering on it and he smashed his thumb. And he broke his thumb because he hit it so hard. And he said, you know what? Hammers are dangerous. I'm going to teach everybody never to use a hammer because hammers are bad. And I'm going to tell everybody hammers are awful. Hammers are bad. Stay away from hammers. In reality, he should have learned how to use the hammer correctly. It's a tool. You can do good things with it, but you can hurt yourself with it. Credit can do good things for you, and you can hurt yourself with it. But it's just a tool.
All right, I ended the game. I just lost the game.
Oh,
No.
dear me. My poor wifey. I'm so sorry.
Well, you've heard of fruit bats, haven't you?
Yeah, the guests painted our B&B up for us so nice. It was amazing. Thank you, Don. Thank you so much. We are talking about credit is what we were talking about at that time.
Person's asking whether it's bank loans or private equity. Those are all tools that people can use for various purposes.
She ate before we started reading. Her fangs only really show when she's ready to feed.
I had a wee bit of lamb and I had some hamburgers. Hamburger patties.
We are landlords, yes. I don't know if we're really cool ones or not. Some people think we're cool. Thank you, Joe. Thank you for the roses. Do we invest in CDs? CDs don't keep up with the rate of inflation. Not usually a good investment.
Hello, Pennsylvania. Is social
Thank you,
media your
Patricia.
main source of income? No, it is not.
No, it's actually a very small part of our income. Last year was the first year we made much at social media, and I made almost 50,000, which is significant. But
It's actually not a small part. I do the books and I have the portfolios, and it's not a small part.
so maybe half and half, something like that. It was a small part until last year. So what changes have we noticed in our body since switching to carnivore? Almost every conceivable way you measure your quality of life has improved for me. Clarity of mind. Most of the time, when people talk about like a clear-mindedness or feeling better, there's not a good way to quantify it, but I play chess, and my chess score went up 200 points the first month that I went carnivore. It was very rapid, and it wasn't from any extra playing or training. It was just a significant improvement.
Now,
Thanks, Joe.
we had a question here about us refunding people with emergency cancellations on our B&Bs. And once a person goes into the B&B, starts touching things, uses the restroom, starts, doing things, even if they have to leave, number one, they have taken up the booking on the place during that time, so we can't rent it to anybody else that night. Number two, once they've started touching things and using the restroom and going through the house and looking at stuff, even though they're leaving, the place already has to be cleaned again. So it's not like I can just rent it out again that night. So even if any refund is ever given, it's not going to be a full refund. The booking company, so Airbnb, VRBO booking, they don't give back their portion either for us to be. So we do not get.
Somebody has a complaint about our
have
Star
that
Lab
one there.
B&B. They do not see a single lava lamp in there. Let me tell you a story
Those
about
things.
lava lamps. I used to work at a store called Service Merchandise when I was young. And Service Merchandise was one of the few stores that had a display of lava lamps that were all turned on so you could watch them. And there were several lava lamps you could go see. And I worked there maybe 3 months, and so many times I had to go clean up lava lamp messes. Because despite all the warning signs, do not pick up lava lamps. They're hot. They will burn you. So many people think, ooh, this looks neat. And they can grab it, and it's cool enough you can pick it up for an instant. And then it gets hot enough to burn you, and you let go, and it drops. And it's molten wax, and it is so bad. It
Wax and oil.
wax and the oil, and it's not good. And no, I do not want lava lamps in my B&B for that reason. Don, I think our campaign is going very well. Service Merchandise was my first job as well. Every time you pass the mirror, you say, hi, Tanya. That's a great habit. I
That's
approve
fun.
of that. What's a lava lamp? My God, I feel old. Wow, that's the oldest I've felt in a while. Thank you. Thank you for that question. Ask Siri about it, maybe. You'll have to come stay if you want to see what's in the coffin.
Thank you. Makes you feel old too, huh?
Yeah.
You owned one. Ah.
You can't see
Thank you.
you can't see a vampire in a Victorian mirror. Keep in mind, Dracula was written in the 1890s. Back then, mirrors were made with silver. Modern mirrors are made with aluminum. That's very different.
Have you ever met an angel? I believe we have. Thank you. Thank you. Jesus loves you too. How do you not know what a lava lamp is? Yeah, I don't know. Some people are under rocks, I suppose.
How are we doing with the crazy back and forth weather in Arkansas? This happens every
Thank
year in
you.
Arkansas. It's just kind of expected. So it'll be 90-something degrees this weekend. It was, 25 yesterday.
We
So,
get all of the seasons in 1 week.
yep, all the seasons in a week. Every one of them.
Is the glass factory still in Fort Smith? I'm not sure.
Dillmeyer Glass, I think, is still open, if that's what you're talking
Oh,
about.
yeah.
Do we see our boys a lot? Pretty often, yeah. I see one of them daily. The other one, I usually see him once or twice a week.
How's the doggy? He's wonderful. Have we seen the movie Sinners? Yes, we have.
I feel like it was an opportunity to do a Boo Hag movie they filled out.
Gonna be lots like you meeting lots of angels soon.
Your son had one of those science globes, the electricity touching your hand. Great for the science B&B. We thought about putting one of those in there, but it's really fragile and glass, and we end up with broken things often. Some people will be rambunctious. They'll have their kids in there playing with a ball or something, and things get broken, and so we try to avoid things that would leave a lot of glass and stuff.
Now, there are a few glass objects in there, but we try to avoid for the most part.
Yeah, those are really fragile. Favorite thing about Fort Smith, the people. The people here, I think, are very friendly and supportive and kind. Next favorite thing about Fort Smith is the opportunity. You can still get homes here for less than $100,000, and our property values are going up 25% last year. That's an incredible opportunity to spend less than $100,000 for a house that will be worth 25% more next year in a city as big as ours. That's a very good opportunity.
I would love to visit New Zealand someday.
Did we ever find out more info on the bones of that house? Wow, that video is a long time ago. Yeah, we did find some info. I did a follow-up. If you watch the bone video, a couple videos after that should have all the answers you need.
This person says got caught in a tornado in Arkansas 2 years ago, completely destroyed the cabin that they were staying in. Luckily, it had a storm shelter underneath it. Wow.
It happens from time to time, especially in the spring, but they're usually small and short-lived. It sounds like you were in a big one.
Are you afraid of what's coming?
No.
No, not one iota.
Here's a better question. Is what's coming afraid of me?
I have confidence. I've read the end of the book, my dear. Our Airbnbs aren't as busy in winter as we would like, and we do lower our prices for the winter time, but the prices are having to come back up now because we're staying pretty solid. How long have we been married?
Hello, New Hampshire. Yeah, the
We
rents
have
are
been
cheaper.
together for 25 years. Fort Smith is a decent-sized town.
About 100, almost 100,000 people.
Have we ever had Karen neighbors? Not really, although some
We
of them
literally
have been...
had a neighbor named Karen at our last house.
Oh, true. And she might have
Literally
been portrayed.
Karen.
She was portrayed as a Karen, but she really wasn't.
Yeah. So not everybody is even as Karen-y as it seems. I'll tell this story about how you don't need to trust everything by its perception. So we sold an S*X dungeon a few years ago, and we did it publicly. It was one of the top 5 most viewed homes in America. And the news came out to talk about this weird couple selling a dungeon in Van Buren, Arkansas, and small town, and yada, yada, yada. And we did a lot of that on purpose. We were marketing the house. We wanted to sell it, so we wanted to get a lot of attention. The news wanted to make a story of it. So they went around and asked neighbors, and the neighbors all knew us. We'd lived there for 15 years and were totally cool with us and didn't mind, and we were relatively open with them. So they didn't get anybody to say anything bad on camera. And finally, the very last neighbor they got to, her name was Karen. They said, "Are you aware that people in the neighborhood are doing weird things?" And they turned it into this thing like, "Oh no, people are doing weird things. I hadn't heard. That sounds terrible." And they got them to answer a question different than because their story started with the inside of our dungeon and interviewing us. And then the question they ask sounds like she's answering that, but in reality, they were setting her up to answer in a different way in order to get their story. And you can't always believe what you see in the news. The news knows how to set up something to make the story interesting. My credit card advice video, I loved it. I'm already seeing a difference in your score. Congratulations. I'm glad I could help you, Austin. I think the campaign is going great.
Our vacation rentals are on Airbnb, VRBO, and Booking, and Google Vacation Rentals.
Yep. And
for those who were asking.
Grand Adventure host.
Mm-hmm. I was trying to say so. It takes a minute sometimes.
You're staying at the Chop Shop a week from tonight. Russell, I look forward to welcoming you into our place. It's going to be awesome. You're going to have a great time. If you like this shirt, you can find it on my TikTok showcase. So let me remove this item. And I will add this shirt to the showcase. There it is. How did we meet? She was dating my roommate.
We've been together for 25 years.
Yeah, we just finished our story a bit ago. We're chit-chatting a few more minutes before we get ready for bed.
The name of the lipstick color is She's Just Jelly.
What's a good vampire book you would recommend for a woman? If you've never read Dracula, it is a classic for a reason. Varney has been a lot of fun. A vampire story not many people have read. If you liked From Dusk Till Dawn, kind of your Quentin Tarantino version of vampires, you should read Vampire City. Vampire City is one of the most unique vampire books. It was written in the 1860s, I think. It was like 20 or 30 years older than Dracula, and it was very weird. The vampires were way different than I expected. What's the secret to staying together for so long? She has a great butt. Is there things to do in town if you rent the Airbnb? Yeah, there's museums, there's a National Historic Site, there's antiquing.
You can go see where Elvis got his hair cut for the military.
Yeah,
that's here too.
There is a museum for that. The world's largest Christmas pickle. There's a lot of really good antiquing at low prices. So if you like antiquing, but it's always too expensive, I think you'll find there's some really good opportunities to buy some neat things. We have a river. We have riverwalk trails. We have mountains that are pretty much 30 minutes in any direction. You'll be in the mountains and the deep forests. There's kayaking.
Thank you.
I don't recommend the U.S. Marshals Museum, but we have it. I'd recommend the National Historic Site. Miss Laura's Museum is way more interesting, in my opinion. The Marshals Museum, I just feels overrated.
It's not his cup of tea.
It's overrated. It's really not that good.
Miss Laura's is very interesting. There's only 9 of them in the country, but they are
places for ladies.
They are museums that were made from houses of ladies of the evening.
Yes.
And it's about that. So
the oldest profession.
The oldest profession, yes. And we are blessed enough to have one.
If you're willing to drive, 45 minutes, there are some caves to explore, and there's all sorts of neat things to see around.
Thank you. What is there to do for teens? We have Spartan Adventures. We have Elevate, which is a rock climbing place. And then we have most wonderful actual trails and forest.
We have skate parks. We have a skate rink still, and we love to go skating.
Roller skating's amazing.
It's good
we
for
have about 40 minutes away, we have a wonderful place called the Mulberry River. If you like to go rafting, this is a time of year to do it. Very cool.
Yes, the Mulberry River is a serious, that's a big, big thing, and that's awesome. Turner Bend is about 45 minutes or so. Hiking, Devil's Den State Park is a great place with some caves and other things, although I guess the caves are kind of technically closed. But
well, they wanted to save the bats, so they have closed the caves. You can't go hiking in the cave anymore because they want to save the bats. keep them safe from the white nose fungus.
Why don't we respond to my messages? We can't respond to every message. There are lots and lots of messages coming through.
This house is... There's spaces in this house that look awesome, but we're not finished with this house.
This house is a work in project. A work in process, excuse me. Jennifer's tones and her voice is mesmerizing, like listening to famous actresses in old black and white movies. Aw.
Thank you.
You say the sweetest things.
Thank you, Liz.
She's incredible.
Thank you so much.
Was the dungeon house your first investment? No, it was my first liability. It was my first house we bought. We lived there for 16 years. And the house that you live in is not an asset. It is a liability. And that's important to understand. I probably need to make a video about that again sometime soon. Aw, thank you, Tabitha, for the stars.
Thank you.
Those make such a huge difference for us as creators. They really help.
She wants you to show your fangs.
I'll get a little closer. I had a dentist ask to look at them in the city council meeting yesterday. He was quite impressed as well.
It was short-lived fame. Selling the house.
Oh, yeah. I was introduced as the guy with the house for a couple of years following that. Hey, it's the guy with the house. Have you met my friend? He had the house, and the house was code for the house with the dungeon.
Any news on the movie? We're supposed to go in April.
You remember
Sky
the
puppies are
controversy
important.
about that. That was the point. That was to help me sell my house. I was an internet marketing professional for many years. I know how to get attention and how to market things online, and that was a very effective way to sell a house in a small town in Arkansas. Literally, the Wall Street Journal did a story about that house for sale.
Thank you.
Well, thank
Simple
you.
question. Answer, please. Well.
What's the question?
Oh, so do you drink people's blood?
I mean, there have been times, I guess. I had a splinter earlier, and I was sucking on my finger.
So he drank his own.
Does that count? I mean...
Thank you. Thank you so much.
What did you get? What year did you get your first investment property? 2018, I think. 2018, I believe.
No, it doesn't count.
And my first investment property I bought for $27,000. I bought it with a loan using the bank's money. We renovated it. It was immediately worth about $180,000. It took me like 6 weeks to get an appraisal that went up in value that much. It was.
Hello, Fresno.
I still have that house today. It's a great, great deal.
I've been to Fresno. Your airport went from fat to fit. It went from Fresno Air Terminal, fat, to fit, Fresno International Terminal.
Oh.
So it went from fat to fit.
I see. Do we ever go through depression or times of bad mental health? I don't think I've gone through anything like that. Now, the nature of mental health is you don't always know if you're having a mental health issue when you're having it. So I'm not aware of any mental health issues I've had.
He'll finish the dragon someday.
It's hard. I don't have enough time to go out and just work on it. I've spent all day working on a kitchen today, and I'll be working on the kitchen the rest of the week. And when I come home, it's either exercise or read you guys stories or go to city council meetings. And, you know, we have all these responsibilities. So it does take a while sometimes to get to a project like that.
I work hard at being annoying.
What are you doing that for?
Someone said I was annoying you.
Why are you doing? Oh, yeah. You're so annoying.
How old are we? We're Generation X. Don't forget the mother-in-law. Yeah, don't forget the mother-in-law.
Yeah. Okay. I love you guys very much. It is definitely time for these vampires to go out hunting or go to sleep, whichever you want to believe.
Sorry, yes.
Talk to you guys later. Love you.
Good night, saddle pals.